there, my name is Lorrie, and this is my world. Welcome. Welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time here. I hope that I'll have some good information. This is bringing back an old series that I used to do called Techy Tuesday, where I break down complicated design programs into simple steps that are really easy for anybody to follow. Now, my friend Liz, her channel is Old Farts, Liz and Peter, and farts is spelled with a PH. I will leave a link for them in the description down here. They're a brand new channel. She is just learning about video editing. And I wanted to help her out a little bit by just kind of showing her some very basic steps that might make DaVinci easier for her to understand and use. So, when you first look at a program like this, if you're not familiar with video editing or graphic design or that kind of stuff, you can look at a program like this that's got so much capability and just be freaked out and absolutely lost as to where you're going. And I want to help her avoid some of that. So I am going to try to go step by step. And now I have to say, I am not a DaVinci expert. I know just enough to be almost dangerous. I know just enough to be able to throw a video together and throw some transitions in and add in some sounds and stuff like that. Like, I know just the basics. DaVinci has a lot more capabilities that I have not learned, and I don't know if I will. Hard to say. I learned by doing. A lot of people do that. So I recommend that if you have two screens, you're watching this on one and that you have DaVinci open on the other. And I'm going to go ahead and pop over here, and we're going to make myself smaller and get me out of the way. Not that much out of the way. There, it'll bring me right down here. Bring this up just a little bit. There. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and hide this logo. You can see behind me, here's my DaVinci screen. And now yours, if it's your very first time, probably the only thing that you're going to see is this untitled project. If you have been in here before, you may see other projects. These are other projects that I've done. So what I'm going to do today is just show you how to create a basic template. I like to start with a template because there are things that I want to use in every video, just kind of as a way of branding for people to remember who I am. And yeah, so I'm going to show you how to just put a basic one of those together. I don't know how long this is going to take. I'm going to try to go quickly. However, sometimes things take longer than you think they're going to take. Anyway, and like I said, I am by no means an expert, but I'm going to go in and let's get to it. So we're going to go ahead and start with an untitled project. We're going to come down here and say new project. Oh, we have to give it a name. So I'm going to call it Techy Tuesday Intro to DaVinci. You call yours whatever you want to call it. If you're working on making your own intro video or your own template, then you can call it that, but you can call it whatever you want. Then you're going to click on the Create button. I know, pretty basic, but I did say that I'd go through every step. Now, your screen may look a little different than what my screen does. I usually customize my own screen, but I turned this all back to the default so it's maybe a little closer to what you have going on. Now, the first thing that you want to take note of is these buttons down here at the bottom. So you can see we have a media button, a cut button, which is the screen we're on now. And you can see that these different screens show different things. Now, you can customize these different screens. I probably shouldn't have gone into Fusion. It takes a minute to load. I wonder if I can go back out. Nope, not yet. Oh, no, I can. Anyway, edit. You have media, cut, edit, Fusion, which is for special effects. I don't know anything about that or how to use it. I've never even tried. The color adjustments, I really haven't tried that at all yet. And the Fairlight, which is, I guess, a full-blown sound editing studio. Again, don't know anything about it. And then your delivery screen. This is where you're going to come when you are ready to change your clips and your bits and all of that into an actual movie that you can upload to your YouTube channel. Now, mine opens up on the edit screen, and this is the screen I usually work on and use. Like I even use it for bringing in my media, although you do have a media clip, and I guess this could be really handy because you could sort out clips if you had a lot, if you had like a really big, you're doing a movie or something. Like I could see that being really handy, but I don't know. I don't very often use it, although I have. I generally go to the edit screen, and so that's where we're going to work. And I can see that I am right in the way, so let me move me. Maybe I should just hide myself. I think that's what I'll do. Here is my basic screen. Now, so this is a preview screen up here. This down here is going to become my timeline. This up here will change to what I want it to change. Right now it's set to be a preview of my timeline. And then over here are your tool areas. Now, as you can see, mine are empty right now. But when you come up here, you can see these are the tools that I have available. So I can turn the media pool on or off. So those are this is going to be where my pieces of media are going to go. And your media can be an audio file or a video file or just a picture or, any number of things. I also like to show my effects. These have your video transitions, your audio transitions, titles if you want to use them. I really don't use any of the other stuff because, like I said, my videos, I just slap them together and put them up because, I'm old. I don't have a lot of time left. Anyway, the other thing that I like to show is up here on the right-hand side, you see you have some other buttons. You have your mixer or your metadata. There's nothing to inspect for metadata. And you have your inspector. I like to have the inspector up here, but we'll turn it off for now just so that it shows this default screen. So before you can do anything, you have to have some media to bring in here, whether it's going to be pictures or movies or whatever it is that you're going to have in here. So what I'm going to do is actually stop this recording, and I'm going to pull this piece of video into the machine, and we'll do that. So I will start recording again. So we're going to bring in some media. So now, because this for you might be a template, you might want to have welcome screens. I'm going to bring all the stuff that I use in my template. I'm going to bring it in here. But I'm also, for the video part of it, I'll use my own video. Because why not? Anyway, so here in this clip here, this master clip, you can right click. And when you do, one of the options will be import media. This is going to bring up your browse screen or your search screen or whatever the heck it's called. And this brought me to my videos folder, which is where my videos save. So this is probably the one that I'm working on right now. And this is the one that I just finished. So we'll just open that up. Oh, so the selected clip has a different time rate than the project is set, and I meant to check that, and I did not. So I'm going to go ahead and change the frame rate. Generally, I do that beforehand, and it's under File and Project Settings. And then right here is your timeline frame rate. And you can change it to what you need to change it based on whatever frame rate your camera is using. So, all right, so there's that video. And now I'm going to bring in some video clips and pieces that I got from Pixabay, Pixabay. It's a source for free pictures, free videos. I think they might even have music clips, although I'm not 100% sure. I get my music clips, just free ones from YouTube Audio, but I mean, my channel's not a music channel, so I don't use a lot of music. I basically use one song now. Anyway, I'm going to right click again. I'm going to import media. And this time I'm going to go to this drive. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to this drive. And anyway, you'll find yours wherever. What the heck? Oh, in here. Duh. You find yours wherever you have yours. I will find mine. So I use this outro. If you don't know, you can hold Control when you're searching, looking for multiple files and they're not like right beside each other. Hold Control to select more than one. I have a welcome and I have a thank you from this folder. I'll pop them in there. And then I want to add my bit of music that I use. So again, I'm going to right click, import media. I'm going to come here to the folder that has my music in it. I'm going to go to my song, which is Tupelo Train. You can, whatever music that you have, like I said, great places to download free stuff that you can use without getting copyright things is the YouTube Audio for music and Pixabay for all your pictures or video clips or whatever. You'll see the ones that I've pulled in. I got all those from Pixabay. Anyway, we're going to just open that and bring it in. So now I have some pieces of media and I need to do something with them. Okay, so what we need to do now is get a piece of video into our preview screen where we will then have a look at it and put what we want down into our timeline. So now these videos over here that you have in your list of media, you can drag them over and they'll come in here, or you can just double click on something and it will also bring it into your preview screen. Now I usually with my videos, I start with a little bit of a video of myself and then I put in my welcome, and then I continue with the video, and then I put in the outro. And I think I did mention that I got my outro, this thank you video, and this little welcome video. I got all of these from Pixabay, so you can get them there too. It's free. You can make an account by uploading your own pictures, but it's free even if you don't create an account. It's still free. Anyway, so let's start here. So then here we're going to be looking and working with these controls, right? Here's our stop button, and it will also be that's our stop button. You have your play button, your fast forward, your play reverse, and your go to first frame button. So that's the first one I'm going to click. I'm going to go here to the first frame. Now, if you know that your video has been done super accurately, you can come over here and hit this Mark In button. And you can see that's put a line across there. That's going to put that whole video in. Now, I don't want to put the whole video in because I'm going to break it up into parts. So I'm going to start it and let it play. Hi there, my name is Lorrie, and this is my world. First frame. I'm actually going to start it and then hit my in button. My name is Lorrie, and this is my world. And I'm going to stop it right there. And I'm going to hit this mark out button. And because it's the first clip going in, I have to drag it. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to drag it down to the timeline and pop it right over there to the beginning. You can see now I've got my my timeline screen here, and this shows my clip still. So we'll go ahead and work with this clip right here. So when I click on it, you can see that both the audio clip and the video clip are red, which means that they're both selected, which tells me that they are locked together. You can lock and unlock these to be able to work with both pieces of your equipment, right? So you can use the video and the audio. So to unlock them, you just click on them so they're selected, and then you come right here to this little lock button and click it. And then click down here somewhere in your timeline. You can see now they're deselected. And now I can click the one that I want to work on, which for me is my sound clip, because my video on this camera or my audio on this camera is not usually loud enough. So I find that it really helps if I go in and adjust that. Now, it's actually super easy to do right here from this screen. So you're going to come up here to the top right corner and click on Inspector. And you can see now that that has brought up some properties. The only one that we're going to do anything is volume. And I'm going to pull, I know that I need to pull it up to about a 14 or a 15 for it to sound good. Now you might need to play with it a little bit so that you know where you need to set your own, but that's where I set mine is I add the volume to 15, and yeah. So I can turn my inspector off because I'm not using it for the moment, and I can see my output, and I can... Welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome to DaVinci. This is what I want to play. I want to play down here. Oh, so I have to play it over here. Duh. Yeah. My name is Lorrie, and this is my world. Okay, so now I'm going to pull in my, usually I actually just leave my inspector up here and I just have this, and because it will, if I run it in here, it will play in this as well. So I can watch both my timeline and my video clips in here. It's just that they're on top of each other. So you do what you want to do with yours, but I'm just showing how I do stuff with mine. So then you have, like, here are my, when I click on the video part of it, here are some of the different video things that I can do. I can crop, I can zoom, change the speed. There's lots of stuff that you can do. I don't generally do any of that stuff with any of my videos, but you may want to play with it. And if you do, have at her. Anyway, so the next thing that I always pop in is my little welcome screen. So again, I'm going to hit this go to first frame button. I'm going to come over here and hit my mark in button. And now I don't even have to put in my mark out button because I'm just putting the whole video in. So now down here, I have this little button that if you hover over it, it says insert clip. And it is going to insert it wherever that red line is. So if I were to put the red line here, it would insert that clip, and I'll just go ahead and do it. It would insert that clip right there, which is definitely not where I want it. So Control Z on your keyboard is undo, and we'll go ahead and we'll put this at the end here. I can tell it's at the end because I've got these squiggly lines here. So now I'll go back to my welcome clip. Go back to the beginning. And press my in button. And now I will insert it there. So now I would go back to my video again. And it may be that I would be going back to multiple videos. Quite often you and I will have multiple clips of things we've done, right? Because we don't all necessarily wander around our gardens like I do and, make you look at the whole thing. People go from clip to clip. And so, you might do that too. So we're going to go ahead and bring up our video again. And I'm just going to go over. So let's say I want to start it here. I can come here and put my mark in line. And then let's say I know I want to go to here. I can go ahead and put my mark outline. And I can pop my clip in there. Now, the other thing that we're going to look at is these three buttons here with the rulers. So one of them lets you view your whole video project. One of them kind of zooms you right in onto your red line. And the third button is kind of a custom one where you can zoom way in and way out. But always focused on the red line, right? So I go back and forth depending on what I'm doing, which you will see as we put in some sound clips. Speaking of sound clips, you can see here when we look at this, that this welcome has its own sound clip, right? I don't think there's anything on it because when you play the video, there is no sound, but the clip is there. So I'm gonna select it and hit backspace because I don't want that clip to be there. Now I'm still in my timeline. You can see over here I'm at the end of this video. Let's say that's all. Well, let's say we're going to put one more piece from this video here. We're going to put it in here. I'm going to start here. So I'm going to hit my mark in. I'm going to go to here. I don't even know what's on it, but you'll listen and watch as you're playing it to decide where you want to pause it or stop it or mark, or cut it or whatever you want to do, right? So I'll hit my mark out. You can see now I've got this little clip right here. And once again, I'm going to hit this button, insert clip, and there it is. Right? Now, just a few more things to do, and you have your video. So I do, at the end, I have this little thank you clip. And again, I've double-clicked. I always double click. I never drag. I don't know why. You can do either. Whatever you're more comfortable with. Drag, double click. Then, go to my first clip. Clip my mark. I know I don't have to play with any cuts in here because I'm going to use the whole thing. So I just have to hit the insert clip. You can see once again, it's got its own little sound clip. So I'll go ahead and click on that. Hit backspace. And that little clip is gone because I use my own music, right, for those places. And, had I put pictures in here, I would use music while my pictures were playing. Oh, and I also need to adjust. You can see, look at this. You can see this. You can see this volume here, right? This is my sound clip. See how big those lines are? And then you look at these and you look how shallow those lines are. So I'm going to click on them, come back here to my inspector, and I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit. Same with this clip. Turn my volume up a little bit. There. That is better. And then I'm going to, what am I going to do? Oh, I have my outro here. This is, again, something that I got from Pixabay. And it is, I believe, 20 seconds long. So it's just long enough, when they put up the for your screen to have your watch my video, that kind of stuff. at the end of the video, that's what this is. It's an outro screen. And then you just have to set your stuff the right way. The right way. You'll see when you do it. That's outside of this. But anyway, we got one more clip here. We're going to go to our first frame, set our in mark, insert the clip. Once again, I don't want the sound on here, so I'm going to take it off. And there you have it. So there's my stuff. Now I need to pull in my sound. Give me one sec. When you look at this, you can see right here, it doesn't look like there's another audio track. It doesn't look like I can have more than one video track either. But that's not true. I can grab this music clip and I can drag it down here, and you can see that I can drag it underneath there, and it will automatically create that audio 2 spot. Now you can have multiple audio and video spots. So don't ever think that you can't multiply it. I could drag it in again and put it down here and create an audio clip 3. So I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do in here. I'm going to go ahead and take that third one out. Let's go back here because we certainly can't have this sound just running through the whole thing, right? I don't want it going over my talking. I just want to put it into these gaps. So I have selected the clip. I'm going to grab my red line and I'm going to drag it to about here. Right? That's about where I want to be. Now I'm going to click on this little ruler button in the middle to get the detail zoom, which is going to bring me to right here. Now I actually, I don't know that I've ever eyeballed it quite so well, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this a little bit. So I'm going to grab my razor and I'm just going to click on here where I want to cut it, come back up and grab my arrow. Now I've got this piece here and I'm just going to get rid of that. Now, I don't want my music to just start abruptly, so I want to do a video transition. So I'm going to go over here, an audio transition. And then you can see there's only 3 to choose from. There's a crossfade plus, a crossfade minus, and a crossfade 0. I don't know why you'd ever use a crossfade with a 0, because what would be the point? Anyway, the plus you put at the beginning of a clip and it makes it go from quiet to louder. And at the end of the clip, you put the -3 and it makes it go from loud to quieter. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that onto here. I'm just holding it till I get it in the spot I want it. Let go, and there it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and look at my full zoom again. I'm going to move my red line over to where I need it to be, and I'm going to zoom in again. And I'm going to grab my razor, and I'm going to clip, and I'm going to grab my arrow, and this time I'm not going to cut this. I'm just going to move it over a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my crossfades on. So at the end of the clip, you want it to be the -3. At the beginning of the clip, you want it to be the +3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom out again. And now I'm going to drag this sound all the way down to here. And I'm going to drag this red line down to here and zoom in. Now I've already got my crossfade on here, so I don't need to put it on again. I'll move that to about there. I want to kind of overlay. Usually I kind of takes me a minute to turn the camera off, and I don't always cut those. So, but whatever, you do you. Let's go out and look at the whole thing again. I can come here to the end. I can zoom in again. And I'll go ahead and now cut off that tail because I don't need it. Grab my arrow key. If you forget to change to your arrow key, it'll just stay on your razor tool and you'll just keep cutting. So usually it only takes one extra cut to realize what you're doing, and then you're not doing it anymore. So let's go ahead and bring my minus crossfade here at the end of my video. And we'll go ahead and go to this. Now, one thing that we haven't done, or two things that we haven't done, we haven't added a title, and we haven't added our transitions. So the first thing that we're going to do is add our transitions to our current video clips. Now, what I do is I come over here to the tail end. I make sure that I've got the view set to view the whole thing. And you can go to each individual video and add video transactions to it. You can click and drag just the same way that I just did with the sound ones. You can do the same thing with the video transitions and put them how you want them. You can stretch them. You can play with them. Honestly, I don't usually bother, again, because I'm old and I'm lazy and I don't want to take the time. So what I do is I click over here at the tail end and I'm going to drag and I'm going to select all of my videos. Okay? And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pick the one I want. I'm going to right click on it. And I'm going to say add to selected edit points and clips. Now it pops up and has this warning that says blah, 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 blah. And what I do is I trim the clips and then I bump this over to the end a little. And done. My movie is now done. Well, it's not done. It still needs to be exported, right? So then, like, these are really, honestly, the only two screens that I usually use in my video. So I'm going to go ahead, because I've finished doing all my editing and all of that stuff is done, I'm going to go ahead and come up here to File and save my project. And then I'm going to click on this button to deliver. Now, even in here, I do it the easiest way that there possibly is because I am not an expert. I click on this YouTube. See how few options I now have? All I need to do is title it. Again, I'm going to name it Techy Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. And I pick a location. I guess I'm going to need a Techy Tuesday folder. And an intro to DaVinci. Okay, so this is where I want it. You're going to put it where you want to put it. And I'm going to hit save. Okay, so now if you know more, like I don't know anything about this stuff. I honestly don't. I don't do anything with it. All I do is I name it. I put it to the YouTube settings. I never use the vertical resolution, but apparently you can. And then I come down here and I hit this button that says add to the render queue. Once it's up here in my render queue, I go ahead and I hit this render all button and it proceeds to render my project until it's done rendering. Once it is rendered, I can go to this location and find my video to upload it. And I'm going to tell you guys goodbye and say thanks for coming and hanging out with me today and watching a little bit of techie stuff. Liz, I hope that it helps. If you have questions, write them down. Put them in a comment. I will try to answer. Now, I know that this isn't going to come out on, well, I'm not going to say that because it just might come out on a Tuesday. I can always send it to private first and send it to Liz so it can help her out, and then publish it on a Tuesday so that it comes out on Techy Tuesday. Anyway, I'm going to try and do these every week. I appreciate you coming hanging out with me. If there's a program or something that you want me to review or go over, if I know the program, I will. If I don't know the program, I might know something similar that can help you, and I'm happy to show you that. Yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thanks so much for hanging with me. I appreciate you every single time I see you. Take good care of yourself. Bye now.